First, I would just like to start with a land acknowledgement. We're just going to take a few moments of silence because we are going to start with the land acknowledgement because this is not our land. This is stolen land. Ashe. So we are here today because we know that Kim signed the executive order for our friends with felony convictions to be able to vote. Originally, when they had signed the bill, it was for felons to be able to vote, but they would have to be able to pay their restitution. Restitution is victims' fees. So whoever their victim was, it isn't any fees owed to the court, state, or any of that, which is really not fair. If you think about it, it is a poll tax, which is something that they used to use back in the day, a tactic they would use to keep voters, especially black voters, out of the polls, right? So, yeah, so that's why we're here today. It was a great victory. Unfortunately, we did not know about the signing, so we weren't able to attend. But we are here because we wanted to throw our own celebration, right? So, yeah, make some noise for that. Yeah, that's a dub. Also, it is important to acknowledge Black youth and Black women for their voices, because without this movement, Black youth and Black women without this movement and without Black women and Black youth, this movement would not be alive. So it is important to listen to us. We've been silenced in many ways, and us not being invited to the signing is being silenced in a way, because we have fought. We have been abused, we have been exploited, we have been harassed in many ways, and Kim has not reached out. Nobody who is there has reached out. If they've reached out, it was a sorry apology. Yes, so thank you guys for coming. My first name is Courtney, Courtney, Caldwell, Caldwell. This is important to me because in November, I won't be able to vote because I'm on probation for a charge. So it's important for people who do have felony convictions to get out there and vote so the demographics can look different this poll. Thank you. I love you too, guys.
Please give it up for Courtney one more time. All right, so Matthew Bruce, Matthew Bruce. Y'all know me. If y'all hear something you like, please let me know. I'm all about energetic reciprocity, so show these people how we get it and how we live. So first of all, I want to thank all of the protesters, for real. The protesters who showed up every single day, who showed up through rain and sunshine, at the Capitol every day, who followed Gov Reynolds and set up carpools multiple times to travel around the state to make sure that this issue was heard. Protesters who were arrested and brutalized on June 22nd. Protesters who were arrested and brutalized on July 1st and July 2nd. And were brutalized before we began this EO campaign, because Black Lives Mattered before this too. So thank you guys, for real. Thank all of y'all. Second of all, I want to thank all of our community partners that helped us, because not only were our voices erased, but the voices of countless grassroots organizers were erased today and completely disregarded, who've been working on this, not only on this executive order, but on making sure that when people are disenfranchised by this state, that someone is there to care for them. And someone has been doing that care this entire time. That includes the organizers behind me, but also the Union of Black Americans, the DSA, Des Moines, Democratic Socialists, the Democratic Socialists of America, CCI, Des Moines Mutual Aid, the Medic Corps, ACLU Iowa. All of these people were partners in helping this happen. So I want to make sure that their names are said and uplifted too. I want to urge that we recognize what we've gained today as a community. This is a big step forward, not only in the actual, mundane aspects of the order, which is that people, tens of thousands of Iowans did gain their right to vote today, a disproportionate number of which were black and brown. That is a reality. That is a fundamental change in the battleground that exists for 2020 and moving forward. And also what it is it shows us that this works, no matter what anybody else got to say about it. Direct action works. And it works a lot quicker than the 10-year process that Betty Wright and everybody else that was up there today sponsored. And that process would have still been processing had we not stepped up and did what we had to do to get it to the finish line. That has to be said. NAACP, Rep. Akeo, Will Keats, and whoever else was out there and didn't have nothing else to say about all of the other countless hands that went in on this project. Also, I want to thank Kim Reynolds and the GOP. Now, y'all are thinking that, Matt? I want to thank y'all for this. When we showed up, y'all showed y'all ass. And I want to thank y'all for doing that because Iowa needed to see what's really going on behind them halls. So thank you. Thank you for halting the constitutional amendment. So when the process restarts, we're going to have a full say on the entire thing, not just at the end. Thank you for restarting it. Thank you for showing your ass and lying to us so that everyone can see how Kim Reynolds works. So that your percentage, your approval rating could drop by half after you lied to the whole state and hit somebody with their car and lied about that too. So thank you, Kim Reynolds and the GOP, for showing y'all ass. Yes, I'm gonna say it in front of all these cameras. Lastly, we was banned, 13 people was banned in the campaign to get this order signed. So if y'all believe that it's a legitimate cause, which y'all do because you signed it into law, then you will lift that ban on us who got the law pushed through. Thank you.
Hello folks, my name is Chelsea Chisholm Vargas. My pronouns are she, her, ella. And I'd like to thank my fellow organizers for allowing me to speak today. One thing that I really do want to talk about, we're definitely thankful for this executive order and we recognize the work that we've put into it. But one thing I keep seeing published is felon voting rights. We really need to get beyond talking about these folks and referring to them as felons. These folks are our neighbors. These folks are our family members. These folks belong in our community. And when we're simply describing them by the crimes that they committed, we're dehumanizing them. So I also encourage for all the press here to really pull away from that narrative. I'd also really like to take a moment, as well as my comrades did, to thank all of the protesters who showed up night after night after night. So many protesters literally ate rubber bullets, were tear gas, pepper sprayed from head to toe, pushing for an executive order, pushing to get voting rights for over 60,000 Iowans. And we need to acknowledge that they put their bodies on the line to make this happen, and they were not invited to the Capitol today. We also had a comrade who was hit by a car as they were pushing for this executive order. And not just hit by any car, but hit by the governor's car. Governor Kim Reynolds hit one of our protesters as they were pushing for this executive order. We must see all of these charges dropped on our protesters. So many of our protesters faced arrest, putting their lives on the line, putting their freedom on the line to push for an executive order, to push for voting access. We need to see these charges dropped. Like my comrade Matthew said, if you believe that this executive order is right, which you do because you signed it, then you must drop all the charges on all of the protesters. And while we're thankful for an executive order, we know this is not a permanent solution. We need a constitutional amendment. We need a constitutional amendment to recognize that everyone should have the right to vote in this country if you are an adult. Your right to vote in this country should not be tied to any crimes that you committed. The reason that it is rooted in racism, and we need to acknowledge that. We need to step away from that. So when we push forward this constitutional amendment, we need it to happen in the House, we need it to happen in the Senate, and we're excited to be a part of that, to work with the legislature to make this happen. But I genuinely do believe this is just a start, right? We got these folks some voting rights back, but there are many, many millions of Americans living in this country with various legal statuses, undocumented or not. If you are an adult living in this country paying taxes, you deserve to have a say in our government. So we're definitely going to continue to push to expand voting access, not just for folks with felony convictions, but for anyone who is paying taxes in this country. Even if you're not paying taxes, if you are an adult, if you are a member of this society, you deserve to have a say. Thank you so much, folks.
Yes. I just want to uplift everything Chelsea just said. She is spot on. Yeah, I do also want to apologize. I'm listening to the city council meeting right now. We've been on here for 9 hours, so got that going. Yep, but Jaylen Cavil, JaylenCavil. I just want to start out by first off thanking every single person who's behind me right now. These people have put in so much blood, sweat, and tears, tireless days, working more than a full-time job with no pay to get this done and many other things done and working in this state. So thank you to all of the organizers from Des Moines BLM. I want to thank every single person who has come out to protest with us at any moment. If you've stood with us at any time, I just want to thank you and uplift you, because without all of y'all, this would not have happened. Thank you to everyone who's been a part of this movement, for real. And I know my comrade Matt did thank Kim Reynolds. I'm not going to thank Kim Reynolds. That's just on a personal point. I think that what Kim Reynolds showed us this entire process was just how much of a coward she really is. Because today, Kim Reynolds is a coward. She showed us this entire time. Yep, because today is the 51st day. It's been 51 days since Kim Reynolds made us a commitment. In her office, she told us that she was going to sign the executive order, and we had to wait 51 days for this to happen. We reached out to her many, many times throughout this process, never heard anything back from her office, always trying to ask her for updates on her progress with the executive order, never heard anything back from her. She ran from us this entire time. I mean, as people said, she hit someone with a car, me, but she ran from us. Right, tears, white fragility. She lied time and time again at the press conference. Even yesterday, was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. So tell me why, if you knew already that you were going to, I mean, I'm sure she knew she was planning on signing this executive order today. She didn't just wake up and decide this. So why, when she was asked at her press conference yesterday about this, did she pack up her stuff and run out the door? She scuttled out the door, and that really right there is symbolic of what we've seen throughout this entire process with Governor Reynolds. She has ran at every moment possible and lied to the people. So we will not be thanking her today. Yep, I do want to uplift this executive order. I think it is a great victory, but I do want to again stress it is a small victory. Today we got tens of thousands of people re-enfranchised and got their voting rights back. However, it is not every person. We were fighting for the voting rights of every single person who's been convicted of a felony, and this executive order does not go far enough in re-enfranchising every single Iowan who's been convicted of a felony conviction. Because this executive order made things conditional. It made it conditional on what kind of crime that you may have been convicted of. Certain violent crimes were excluded from this executive order. She also excluded folks who are on parole and probation. This is not right. In the United States of America, voting rights should not be conditional on anything at all, especially any type of conviction, because as Chelsea so smartly noted, that is racist. It has been racist since its inception. It goes all the way back to Jim Crow era laws, and it is unacceptable. So while we celebrate this small victory, we will keep fighting. We have to keep fighting, because there are still so many thousands of Iowans who are not re-enfranchised from this executive order. And we must push even further than that. Yes, folks who immediately get released should be immediately re-enfranchised, but folks who are incarcerated right now should have the right to vote. Folks who are incarcerated right this moment should have the right to vote, and we need to vote, and we need to fight for that. We do, because so many of those folks are going to be leaving at some point, re-entering society, and they have the right to have a voice in what that society is going to look like once they're released. We need to fight for all voting rights for all Americans. Anyone over the age of 18 should have the right to vote, regardless of anything going on in their life. Yep. So yes, I do want to uplift. This was a small victory. We will keep fighting. The fight is not over at all. I want to thank a few select people. I thank the BLM organizers. I thank everyone who's been protesting with us. I want to thank Representative Ross Smith, who stood with us this entire time. Representative Ross Smith has shown that he is the greatest ally that Des Moines BLM has in the state of Iowa. The greatest ally that Des Moines BLM has in the state of Iowa has been Ross Smith since its inception. He has been using his power and his voice to help us, and we cannot thank him enough. And it's funny because he does not even live in Des Moines. He represents Waterloo, 2 hours north of Des Moines, and he is standing with us more than any other Des Moines politician has. So we must uplift Ross Smith. He couldn't be here today because he's out of town, but we want to thank him so much for all the work and all the help he's done to get us to this moment. Thank you, Representative Ross Smith.
So if they had shared you guys this moment with you and invited you along, what would that have meant to you, and what would have been different?
So, I mean, the points I spoke on earlier, we 100% stand by. This executive order does not go far enough. So while we do celebrate the fact that tens of thousands of folks are being re-enfranchised, we see this as a small victory, right? We're not going to sit here and uplift Kim Reynolds and say, look at this civil rights hero, look what she's done for the community, because she hasn't. She hasn't done this. This is something that, first off, this is something she claimed that was a priority for her years ago, and she waited this long to do it in the first place. So that's a lie right there. Yep. Second off, Kim Reynolds has not stood with us. She's lied to us time and time again. So yes, we'll celebrate this victory. We're not going to celebrate Kim Reynolds as a person. But the fact that we were not invited this morning to the signing is offensive. I will say that. All of the people standing behind here, we found out about this executive order signing on Twitter, the same way everyone else did. Even though we had 2 in-person meetings with Kim Reynolds in her office, we were the ones that she made the guarantee with that she would work with us and that she would sign this executive order, and then she straight up ghosted us. Ghosted us for 2 months, and then out of the blue announces she's going to sign this executive order and invites folks like Will Keeps. Why was Will Keeps invited to this? Yeah, Will Keeps, I'm sure folks here in Des Moines are familiar with Will Keeps. Will Keeps has not been fighting for this issue. She invited him because she's her friend. She wants to tokenize him. He's a black person that supports her. So we don't agree with that. We don't agree with a lot of the things that happened this morning. It is disrespectful that Des Moines BLM was not informed and invited to this executive order signing, as we were the ones pushing on this. So yeah, we're going to take this time now to celebrate with ourselves and have this press conference. We thank you all for coming out. I'll hand it over to the next speaker.
All right. Black lives, black lives, black votes, our votes. Period. All right, first of all, I want to say thank you for all the organizers, because they have lost sleep. They put their bodies on the line. They got tear gas and everything in between. So thank you for everything that you're doing right now. I also want to thank all the protesters who come out and actually support folks that support Black lives and Black liberation, because we believe that when you support Black liberation and Black people get liberated from all oppressive systems, everyone gets liberated. And we can see that right now with this EO order. If all Black folks can vote, that means everybody else gets to join in. So just remember that. I also want to thank all the folks who have been supporting us, from the folks who have been feeding us at a protest, folks who have been making sure that they show up at the jail when we get illegally arrested. I want to thank all of them because they have been essential in our survival as protesters, as Black people, as people who want to be liberated from oppressive systems. I want to give recognition to the fact that, yes, we got a small win today, but I'm not thanking Kim Reynolds at all. I'm not. That's her job. This is a constitutional right. It's a constitutional right. If I'm paying taxes, don't look at it shouldn't be conditional. I should be able to vote. I should be able to decide who represents me in office, who speaks for me, who speaks over my life, who decides what kind of policies affect me, housing, childcare, how I get treated in prison if I ever end up up there illegally.
Because that happens a lot, especially to black and brown folks. I should be able to decide that. So I'm not thanking her at all. And I want to call out everybody that was out here giving her hugs and saying thank you and getting photo ops. Photo ops are not going to save black people. Okay? Photo ops don't change policy. Action does. Action. We want action. Okay, so this is a small win. This is not the victory. This is like a small climb to this mountain that we're like, you know, trying to climb. A mountain full of white supremacist ideologies, oppressive systems that continually oppress everyone and people who have been down since this country was created. Systems that continually put black people down, that continually put black people in jail for crimes that white people commit. A lot of folks right now are in prison for crimes they did not commit. I want to recognize that. A lot of black men are in prison right now for crimes they did not commit. I want to recognize that. So if we have a chance to make sure that they're able to vote so that their lives are protected when they get out, we need to do that. And it shouldn't be conditional, ever. Also, one thing I want to do is, again, call out the actions of our black leadership in this town. This is not to be divisive. This is to build community. Because if we don't call out the things that are problematic in our movement, then we will fail. We will not survive. We will continue to drown in these oppressive systems. We have to call out wherever the problems are, even if it looks like us, talks like us, eats like us, are like us. We have to call it out. The black leadership in this town have continually failed the black youth. They have continually told us that they want to give us the mic. They continually told us that they want us to lead, but they're not listening. They're holding too tight to the reins, and we want to take the lead. Where was the lead today? Where was our invite? I'm pretty sure they didn't find out of this morning. No. They had conversations behind our back. We were not invited to the table. And I have a problem with that. And I don't have a problem addressing that in public, because these are my people. And if there are issues, we need to address that. For this movement, for black people to be liberated, we need to address those issues. Black leadership, our elders are failing us. They don't want us to fucking lead. I said what I said. I still haven't gotten a phone call. Did y'all get a phone call? Anyone get a phone call today? I still haven't gotten a phone call, but they're posting on social media about how they're thankful for BLM being a part of this movement and being able to get this through. But nobody has called any of the organizers. They haven't called any of the organizers. So what you mean? What do you mean? You are part of the problem. The reason why black people have not been liberated for this long is because we have people in the system working with the system. And we're tired of it. Let young black and brown people lead. This is our time now. And I'm not accepting anything. What Kim did today, that was small. That wasn't it. We literally put our bodies on the line. We took the time. People did not sleep. We wrote a whole EO for her. Legit. We had lawyers work on it. We sent it to her. And then she gave us something that wasn't anything even close to. It's not good enough. Not for us, not for black and brown folks, not for anyone. Not for all the Iowans who are going to still be disenfranchised. They can't vote. because this vote was conditional. She did this for clout. I still want the black leadership to call me and apologize for being dismissive, disrespectful, taking credit for the work that black and brown young people did in this movement to get this EO signed, even though it was a small victory. I want an apology. They need an apology. Publicly. If you're going to disrespect people publicly, I want the apology in public. Own up to your mistakes. Own up to it. This is not a generation that's going to sit down and have small talks in the back room. No, we're going to take it public. We need accountability. We need accountability from these oppressive systems and from the people that we entrusted our lives with to go and speak for us. But more than enough times, they fail us. They said they were going to be here for us, support us. Had a whole meeting about it. We had a whole meeting about it, yeah?
They left that meeting to talk to Kim.
Exactly. So what Kim did today, don't let that fool you. Honestly, it's not what y'all think. She just wants clout. Okay? She wants Trump to look at her and be like, I'm proud of you. I'm gonna let that go. I already said what I said for that. I also want to say that in these conversations, looking and I watched this live because I honestly found out like 40 minutes before everything happened. I recognized that there wasn't a person there that was supposed to be there, at least. His name is Representative Ross Smith. He should have been there. If y'all want to disrespect the youth, cool. But Russ should have been there. He was supposed to be one of you. So I called him up. I was like, hey, Russ, did you know about this? He said, hell no. I had no idea. So I want to tell y'all exactly what he shared with me so you guys can also get to hear his voice and how he felt about this. This is what he said to me. While this executive order wasn't as expensive as the order we drafted, it is a win. It's a win, and I'm happy for the 10,000 of Iowans who will be able to let their voices be heard in November. November 3rd, y'all. And at the same time, I am steadfast in working to make sure thousands of more will one day have that opportunity. Hopefully tomorrow. You can still change your mind, Kim. I am grateful to be able to work alongside and support such hardworking, dedicated individual in Des Moines, BLM. Without you all, this wouldn't have happened. Without you putting all your bodies, your time, and everything you're being into this fight for social justice, that order wouldn't have gotten signed today. You are all a testament to us all that the work we do is greater than any one individual. You motivate and inspire me every day. We rejoice in this small victory today. We know we must get back to work tomorrow. In this fight for equality, we need all hands on deck. So if you haven't done anything, do something. And after you've done something, do more. And if you know that you have done, if you have more in you, do all of that you can. This was his message. You can tell that Ross is very compassionate and very kind individual because even though he literally got put under the bus by his colleagues, he still came on top. He still talked about how we need to come together and still collectively work to make sure that other folks have equitable rights to vote. People need to vote, and it should never be conditional. No.
If we have to pay taxes in this country, we need to be able to vote. It should never be conditional. Please understand that. It should never be conditional. Now what they did, it's exactly the Constitution. The Constitution says if there is no taxation without equal representation, right? No taxation without equal representation. So that also means people in prison should vote. You know why? Because they get taxed. When they do the census, they get counted. Did y'all know that? Folks in prison, they get counted as part of the census. So they should be able to vote. When they come out here, they need to vote on the reality they will encounter out here. The fight for black people should never be conditional. We deserve to be free. We were free before and we deserve it. It's our right. It's our human right. And voting is literally partial to that. There's so many more things that need to be done. So I'm going to do a call to action to every single folk. November 3rd, please vote. Okay? Please vote because black lives, brown lives, trans lives, everybody in that community, we're all in danger. And you all know this. You should know this. Kim is literally Trump's baby. She will do whatever makes him happy. What happened today was a clout. She was looking for clout. She was trying to silence us. It's a way to silence us. She wants us to be happy that she finally got something in. She thinks we're incompetent, but we're not. We're really not. We're really not. We're very competent, Kim. We can read and write. Matter of fact, we wrote you a whole executive order. Let me breathe for a second.
We are the people, not the forgotten people.
Exactly.
Yes, we still can. Yes, I still am. It's not over. It's not over.
So again, I just want to reiterate, tonight was a small win. It was a step into the victory that we need to have. All folks need to vote. All of them. No conditions, nothing. I don't care what you did, but if you're paying taxes, if I have to go and buy something in the grocery store and I'm paying taxes on that, I need to vote. Right? If I'm a taxpayer, I need to vote. We also need to recognize that this voting system is literally an oppressive system. It doesn't work for anyone that's not white, old, male, okay? It doesn't work over European heritage. It doesn't work. It continuously oppresses black people. Continuously. Every day. It's oppressing us. It's drowning us. I also want to say to my black people, my brown folks, please vote. Please vote. Like our lives literally depend on it. And I know these politicians come to you and they lie to you and they tell you that they're going to consider what you're telling them in our communities. And they tell you they're going to listen to the housing crisis that we're having. And they tell you they're going to listen to the homeless issues that we're having in our towns. They're going to tell you that, oh, we're listening. We're going to build policy that actually changes our community. And then it comes a time for them to act on it and they disappear. We get ghosted on every 4 years. Every time we get ghosted on. And I know it's tiring and I'm really, really sorry this is happening to us, but I need you to vote. For real. Black people, brown people, if you're able to vote this election, I need you to vote. Your life depends on it. For real. Please. That's all I gotta say for now.
Hello, my name is Tiana. So I don't plan on speaking too long because I'm really just going to reiterate everything that my fellow organizers have said. This is a small win, but there's still obviously many folks that are disenfranchised, and even outside of the right to vote, there are thousands of barriers that are blocking folks with felony convictions from having rights that they're entitled to, and a lot of those on behalf of our government. And so they as a whole need to do more to change that. So this is a small step, but we need more action. And that's all.
All right, so we just want to thank everyone for being here again. We will open the floor up to questions from press if they have any questions.
Before we do that, we wanted to make a couple more points. We're still not very confident. Obviously, this is very new news, this executive order. We're still not sure what the process is to get these folks back to vote. So this is just the start, right? We have to do all this hard work now to figure this out, but you can believe that we are committed to that. I also wanted to do a quick call to action, as my brother Jalen mentioned, that if you are in jail, you have a right to vote. Here in Iowa, if you are not yet convicted, you can vote. So what I have a call to action to do is for our Polk County Sheriff to go ahead and pass out absentee ballot request forms to their folks who are locked up at Polk County Jail. I also would like to ask him that he connects with wardens at other prisons and jails in the state of Iowa and do the same action. Get everyone who is able to vote the right to vote. We do want to take questions, but I did want to acknowledge, as one of our comrades said, we're doing this for free, y'all. We're not getting paid, right? So this is a lot of work. We've been putting in a lot of work, but your donations help. As we're trying to legitimize ourselves as an entity, we need your support to make that happen. So yeah, we have programming going on. I mean, we do a lot. We do a lot of community investment. So we want to continue to be able to keep doing that, but we need your support to make it happen. We need your financial dollars, but we also need this. We also need y'all showing up. So shout out to everyone who showed up. I am going to drop our GoFundMe because we want to be able to, again, invest in our programming, but invest in our youth. We want to be able to pay these folks for their labor. So our GoFundMe is gofundme.com/DSMBLM fund. So please, please, please donate what you can. Show up to our events, show up to our programming when we have those events as well. Also, we have an event right after this. So I know a lot of y'all are here for that event, so please, please stay around. If you just came for this, hey, kick it with us after too. So we would like to end it on that note, but do y'all have some questions? Anyone want to come up? It's cool if y'all don't. Yeah.